A lot of witnesses said that the car either slowed down or stopped just at the moment of the shooting. So let's see if we can see anything in some of the pictures that supports that. So this is the Marie Muchmore film. So let's just take it back to the start. So I think some people have said that you can see the wheels squeezing up to the arches. Others have said that the flags drooped. Others said that there were brake lights. Others referred to Clint Hill catching up with the limousine, and then also the cyclists seemed to close in on the limousine too. So let's see if we can look at those issues, and perhaps there's something else that catches our eye. So let's look at it at normal speed first. Well, we can certainly see at the end there, Clint Hill jumps from the Queen Mary onto the limousine. So, and he doesn't jump directly, so he jumps onto the ground. So that suggests that the limousine was going slow enough for him to be able to get on board, which suggests that it did slow down or stop even, although that's not visible in the film. But as I said before, we shouldn't take these films at face value because there are lots of suggestions that they've been altered. So let's look again, and let's take a look at the flags this time. You can see the flags are drooping here. It may be that the frames that people were referring to at some other point in the films, with suggestions that the frames have been rearranged, but there's nothing in what we've just seen there, in my opinion, to suggest that they droop for any prolonged period. How about the wheels squeezing up to the wheel arches? Let's have a look at that. Yeah, in my opinion, it's difficult to see anything there to support that. What about the cyclists? Do they close in on the limousine? That would suggest they do, although the angle might exaggerate that if indeed that's what they did. And the other issue we need to consider is, did they close in on the limousine after the fatal headshot, or did they close in on it before the fatal headshot? So let's have a look at that. So I think there have already been shots, but we're still waiting for the fatal headshot. As I said, the angle might deceive us a little bit about whether they're closing in on the car. But it does appear at this point that they are passing. I think the fatal headshot's already taken place, so let's see if we can be a bit more specific and see whether they actually closed in before the fatal headshot. Clint Hill still is just jumping off, so that suggests that the fatal headshot's already taken place, although these two black lines suggest that the fatal headshot still hasn't taken place. Okay, so I think this is around the time of the fatal headshot. You can't see Clint Hill yet, but it does appear that the two cyclists have got closer to the limousine by the time of the fatal headshot. So why was that? Was that because they speeded up? Perhaps because of the shooting that had already taken place, or had the limousine slowed down? And I think they get even closer, of course, after the fatal headshot. And as I think we'll see in the Zapruder film, Greer certainly had the brake on after the fatal headshot. Why that would be, we can discuss when we look at the Zapruder film. But let's just have a look at Clint Hill now. I think will appear. Yeah, so he's obviously seen the fatal headshot, but the police cyclist had already closed in on the car. So, and then other observers have noticed the brake lights on. So we need to look, when were those brake lights on? Before the fatal headshot, or did they come on after? So let's have a look at that. Let's go back to the beginning and do it very slowly. So this is the left rear light. Is that already on there? In some other versions of the film, they've exaggerated or magnified the light, so it's more visible, but it's not it's been changed, so I would prefer to use the original film. So let's just go back and have a look at this light. Is that the same at the beginning, or has it changed? So let's have a look. Okay, so the light, well, so the left rear light's still not visible. Now it's visible. That's a bit blurred. Has the brake light come on there? Because that looks a little bit different to a frame or two ago. Is that a light coming across there? Just go back a bit again. I'm not sure about that. But that looks like the brake light's on. And this is before the fatal headshot. Bill Newman still standing. If you remember, he and his family fly to the floor after the shooting, but he's still standing here, so that looks like the left rear light's already on. Yeah, and if we go back, it looks like it went off and then came on again. So let's go back again. Okay, so here it looks like it could be on. Then does it go off? Here it seems to go off. Possibly coming on again. And the other thing we need to know is, does the strength of the light change depending on how much the driver is pressing on the brake pedal? not sure that's on. But here, it looks like it's come on. It's different to the frame before. And we will now be able to see the right rear light come into view. So let's have a look. Okay, so this white band is around the time of the fatal headshot, and you can see the right rear brake light appears to be on. And this appears to be before Clint Hill has jumped off the Queen Mary. Look, it still seems to be on. The fatal headshot's taken place. Now you can see Clint Hill running from the Queen Mary. So let's have a look at the Zapruder film. So let's try and look at things in the same sequence as we did with the Muchmore film. So let's first have a look at the fluttering flags. The right one doesn't, now it's fluttering. Do they droop? The right one's not moving, but it's still moving. So I don't see any drooping flags, but as I said before, you've got to be wary about this film because there does appear to have been some doctoring. So let's have a look if we can see anything with the wheels. They're not as visible in the Zapruder film as they were in the Muchmore film, so let's go back. Do they stop? Can you see them squeezing up to the arches? I can't see that at all. What about the cyclists? Let's go back to the cyclists. Do they close in on the limousine? So here we can see. So actually there should be 4 cyclists here, I think. We can only see the 3, can we? Is that one cyclist there? This is not the same one, so sorry about that. Yeah, so there's 2 here. I think there should be 2 here, but I can't see. Where's the other cyclist there? I guess this is the curbside, so it's possible is that a handlebar there. So you can see there behind the line of the rear of the limousine. And here, just before the shooting, they appear to drop back, or the guys on the left appear to drop back for some reason. I don't know why that is, but perhaps we can explore that in another video. But they appear to drop off around the time of the appearance of Umbrella Man and the Dark Complected Man. So why are they dropping off here? can't see a reason for them to do that. You can see they're behind the line of the guys on the right hand side, so why would that be? So you can see they're really in line with the front of the Queen Mary. Shooting's already taken place. JFK's been hit either in the throat or the chest, depending on your point of view, or the back. Two cyclists, I think it's Bobby Vargas and Billy Joe Martin, are looking over towards the knoll. This is just before the fatal headshot. Are they getting any closer there? Yeah, they seem to be getting closer. So why are they getting closer? Is that because they speeded up? Because they'd noticed something with the shooting? Although they don't appear to be looking in the car, they appear to be looking up towards the grassy knoll. Yeah, you can see, I think this is Billy Joe Martin. He's got right closer, much closer than he was a frame or two back. He does appear to be showing more interest what's going on inside the car now. Is it because he realized something's not right? And there's the fatal headshot. So it does appear that at least Billy Joe Martin got closer before the fatal headshot. And you can see actually Bobby Vargas was much closer as well. And now Clint Hill has climbed on the back, so if he's climbed on the back, then the car did slow down, certainly after the shooting, but that the cyclist got a little bit closer suggests that the car might have slowed down before the fatal shooting. So let's see if we can have a look at the brake lights. So here you can see the right rear brake light. Here, it's difficult to say whether the light is on or not, particularly with light spillover from the sprocket holes. Let's get this out of the way. And if there was some doctoring with the Zapruder film, and a lot of people have suggested that alterations took place to hide that the car had slowed down, or if not stopped, then was this sprocket hole, for example, to hide the right brake light on? Let's see. And you can see now that that area is going to disappear from scope of the lens. Yep, you cannot see the lights here, but I think it does come into view again. So this is after the fatal headshot, so I think it does come into view again. But really, we wanted to have a look at before that fatal headshot. Okay, so now you can just see the right rear light. I think we will see at some point very soon that the left one comes on. Yeah, you can see the left light, but then why is that light on and the right one doesn't appear to be on? That's unless there was just one rear brake light, or perhaps the right one was broken. But why is that one on and the right one isn't on? So did the driver see Clint Hill in the rear view mirror, or Kellerman had told him, or he just instinctively realized that Clint Hill was trying to get on the back of the car, so he braked? Or was he braking for some other reason? So just to summarize then, we had the fluttering flags, which from these pictures didn't or weren't very obvious. Squeezing of the wheels up to the wheel arches. Again, it's difficult to see anything that will support that view. Then we had the cyclists getting close to the limousine. Both in the Muchmore and Zapruder films, that does appear to be the case, although in the Zapruder film, it also looks like they dropped off before that. Maybe it's not so clear in the Muchmore film. Then Clint Hill as well was able to get from the Queen Mary onto the limousine. It did appear that the Queen Mary got closer as well. And perhaps the most interesting point is the brake lights do appear to have come on, and also they were on before the fatal headshot. And as I just said, in the Zapruder film, you got to ask the question, why is the left light on there and the right one isn't? Is that alteration, or that's just the way the car was, which I'd be surprised at? Or was the right rear light broken?